Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Mikey B. Shout out Dogfather filling in for Scrap. Good man. Episode 3. The first 2 episodes, I'll be honest, not the best in terms of quality, and I don't know, betting lost half a unit the first episode, got it back the second episode. Probably could have gone bigger, honestly. Like all the chalk won, could have just parlayed some bullshit. But what about you? How you going, man? It's been a while.
Hello. I haven't really bet much, honestly.
No.
I bet the over in the Tallahassee fight the first week.
Same.
Like, I don't even remember, but I thought it was a great bet, and that was just weird. And to be honest with you, I don't really view that guy as much of a finisher anyways, so I still don't feel bad about it now. So, yeah, I mean, I really haven't bet much of anything, so we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, for the second episode, I like Roston at plus 140, and then I flipped and didn't touch anything, and then I kind of regretted it as Roston hit his first ever round 1 KO in his life on the feet. And then, I just said Ramirez on the 1.5. Thank you very much. And that really should have been a smash spot.
You're welcome.
Don't know why I was scared of it. And yeah, but it's just Dana White contenders, you know, like you start and you just know what contenders is like, and it's like, do I really want to be playing chalk here? And then, yeah, I mean, he covered, pocket covered. Lewis Lee Scott, honestly, probably the most UFC level guy. He made a meal of that fight, and I had a bit of a weird feeling because I don't think the Indian is as bad as some of the other Indians. Like he's got process, but I'm like, what are you doing with Lewis Lee Scott, man? Like, why do you keep giving him your heel and your leg and your back? You got his back taken twice. Like, what is he doing?
That guy. I mean, that guy's grappling is pretty decent. That was actually like a pretty slick standing back take. So
yeah, he just kind of looked gassed like 3 minutes in, which is a typical Indian thing, I guess. And yeah, what else are you gonna bet? Like, I feel like Roston Holmes Pick'em was accurate despite him knocking him out. I think the under and over was accurate despite round 1 KO. And Delano, like, I know Esposito, I kind of considered it, but then I bailed. Absolutely zero value on that dog. And the under, you could say, was value, but he went over. So just weird episodes, right? And this episode 3, I know we both agreed this could be a very short breakdown, top to bottom. But yeah, interesting. Pirate, crack a smile. So I sent a screenshot of my smile to Pirate from my last video because he's just saying that I never smile. So I'll just keep doing it. I'll keep sending him screenshots every day, so he's happy. All right, should we get into it?
Let's go.
Darian Abbey, Dante Johnson. What a fight. What a fight. I remember Darian Abbey because I remember him knocking out the boy, Lorenz, and I thought he looked very good. I'm like, oh, this guy must be some sort of kickboxer. He's doing a lot of bare knuckle fighting, and he's so sharp. And then all these recent fights, it looks like he lost his sharpness. I'm like, what? This is not the guy that I remember taping back in 2021. And also, he dropped Steve Murray and then just got Kimura. So I'm like, this guy was like this tall, sharp, really nice striking. Oh, that's right. He had a lot of kickboxing fights. I'm like wiki capping now. But yeah, just his fight with Tim Johnson, taking down Mold. Awful look. Awful look. And then just, Patrick Martin getting dropped multiple times. And then the Alex Nicholson. It's a round 1 KO, right? That's on Instagram. But it was so ugly. It was like, what happened to this guy's speed? The guy that knocked out Lorenz, he was just so smooth. He landed an uppercut. He had like 1-2s. He was quite light on his feet. The Alex Nicholson fight was just like a KO because it looked like Alex Nicholson was very slow and they were both stuck in the mud. And I don't know. I think this guy should go down to light heavyweight. I think he was going to be faster there. I forgot to watch the weigh-ins, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. But he weighed in at 226. He can make light heavyweight, man. It's just very fat. That's 20 pounds. Vito Petrino weighed like 20 pounds more than that, and he had no fat on him. So, this guy can make weight. And this Dante Johnson, same thing. He was a light heavyweight. He looked in great shape, and now he's moved up back to heavyweight. Or maybe he wasn't. Wow, this guy was always a heavyweight. My bad. He looked fat at some point, and then he got ripped, and I'm like, oh, he must have dropped to light heavyweight. But no, he was always a heavyweight. Oh, that's right. James Ford was light heavyweight. My bad. James Ford, that's a good win, man. That's a good win. Very credentialed wrestler, knocked him out. So, I don't know. He's a favorite. I guess he should be favorite. He's not. He's a 4-0 prospect. He seems to have some wrestling. He's 26. He's not getting dropped by jobbers like Darian Abbey. But I don't know, minus 200, or actually worse. The under is a minus 200. I can see that. But my issue is Abby kind of seems a little bit durable. I mean, not durable, but he's getting dropped, but he's not getting finished. And Dante Johnson, he's also been knocked out at amateurs, but it was a head kick. So I don't know. There's a lot of unders that I might like on this card, but that one feels a bit like a sloppy heavyweight under. That. What do you think? That maybe I shouldn't rush to bet it.
Yeah, I kind of like Johnson as a prospect. Like, he's 26, he's athletic, he switches stances, and you know what the funny thing is, his striking reminds me of Bruno Ferreira, the Hulk. The way he floats in and out of the way he floats in and out of stance switches and throws his left hand straight. He kind of reminds me of Bruno a little bit of how he moves around, and I think he's a really good athlete. And he's 26, so I kind of get why he's the favorite, and I kind of understand the price, but I'm not really itching to play it because I haven't seen the guy go long in fights. He kind of seems like he'd have fine cardio. He weighed in at 209, and Abby weighed in at 226. So both these guys are really light heavyweights at the end of the day, and both of them didn't really have the chance to put on size or anything. It just seems like a light heavyweight fight, but they didn't make the guys cut weight, pretty much. And yeah, I think Abby's fine. I think the length could give Johnson some issues, but I kind of feel like Johnson's power and his hardware will just, at some point, he's just going to land a big shot on Abby and put him out because he's got big power. And if he lands flush, I just kind of can see, Abby being somewhat durable, but this guy hits really hard. I mean, it's not 41-year-olds and shit like that. This is in his prime, beast of a dude. I do think Abby's got a shot though, because he can crack. So I kind of lean the under, but like you said, I could see a lot of things happening here. And Johnson can be a bit patient standing. So I kind of think everything's accurate personally. If the line came in, I'd be happy to take Johnson, just because I think he has so much more potential than AB. And he's definitely taking his career seriously. He went from 2 entrees to lockjaw. So he stopped eating 2 entrees, clearly. He's ripped now.
Do you think that we might see the faster, sharper Abby now that he's not as fat as he was on the regionals? 226 is not too bad.
Did he look sharper, or is Lorenz just kind of slow?
No. I don't know, man. That fight and those earlier fights that I was taping, he looked much sharper. Because these last 3, he looks so slow, man. He actually looked like a kickboxer back then, and then now he just looks like a heavyweight brawler. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he went. Maybe because he's doing a lot more training to round out his game, MMA game, and he's just his striking has just become a little bit shit. I don't know.
I think his striking's fine. It's pretty basic. So
yeah, he just fights long. Anyway,
yeah,
good way to start the card, I guess. Heavyweight slop fest. Christian Perez, Manuel Sosa. This is probably one of the better fights, honestly. This Perez guy seems good. He kind of reminds me of Jimenez last week. I mean, he's a Mexican. He's coming from Combate, but he's young and unknown to me. First time taping him. He's got one loss to this Enrique Gonzalez. I haven't even watched that, honestly. I started down the bottom. Seems like he wants to grapple. Level of competition is not that great. A lot of people say he has some value. I mean, I would say he's probably potentially the best underdog, but he's also fighting the best guy on the card, in my opinion. I think Manuel Sosa was UFC level yesterday, right? This guy should have just been signed straight to the thing, but then we'll be complaining that there's no good talents on Contender Series. So, yeah, I think Manuel Sosa, it's a tough task to beat him. His only loss is Archie Kogan. He's already knocked out, Richard Martins, Huffy. Some of these guys are bums, in CFFC. Tim Wild, the GOAT Tim Wild. That's got to count for something, but yeah, it's tough. I don't know what this kid's going to do. He usually grapples, but it's not hard to take Sosa down, but he's got a good Kimura and he's good on the ground as well. So I don't know what to make of this fight. Maybe I think he might be accurate. And the under in this fight, it's actually plus money. So that's interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Perez. I think my only issue with Sosa is he doesn't have good takedown defense, and Perez is a pretty decent grappler, and he's got a good back take and a body triangle. So he's pretty young too. So I can see him making improvements off his 2-year layoff. So I think he is the best dog on the card. But like you said, Sosa's a unit of a guy, and he's got great cardio too. He's just a freak.
Mm.
And the problem with his game though is he just kind of throws huge punches, and he just goes rabies for everything. And he definitely has Brazilian levels of IQ. So I can see if Perez does get his game going where he can land some takedowns and, get some grappling off, he might have some value, especially if he's making these improvements. The last time he really fought in MMA was like 2020. He was 24 years old, and he's been at the UFC PI in Mexico for a while. I mean, he'd be making some pretty sizable improvements. This fight could be competitive if Sosa doesn't take his head off. So,
Yeah. Did you watch that fight that he lost?
yeah. That guy's pretty good. Enrique Gonzalez. He's a good fighter. He's the guy who went to split with Manuel Torres back in the day.
All right.
On like the Mexican regional scene.
How did he lose? Did he just grind him out?
Yeah, it was like a back and forth grappling fight.
Yeah. It feels like that's how this fight might go, which is why there might be value, because, as you said, Sosa doesn't really have a sprawl and brawl game plan. Like, it's more so take me down and then we'll scramble game plan.
Yeah,
and that could give this kid. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to. It's a whole. There's a lot of like value on volatility in Deadlock Contender Series, but then there's a lot of big step ups like Delano last week. I thought there might be some value because it was a shit inning Argentinian, but it just ended up being a levels fight. But I don't know. Sosa's a bit different.
That's my problem. I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you how good Perez is.
Yeah, that's the issue. But we know how good Sosa is, and so can he reach that level? I don't know. I'm not really willing to find out with my money. So it's a good live bet. I think Perez will be winning minutes. He's not going to finish Sosa. So
yeah, Perez would have to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Sosa gets steamed up tomorrow. So I wouldn't be against taking a whatever you'd call trying to find the right word.
Say it again.
Taking like a stab on Perez if the line blew out a ton.
Okay.
I don't think I'd feel bad if it got like plus 300 or something a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to force it. I'm just going to live bet it, And if Sosa kills him, he kills him. And if it's competitive, then I can just enter rounds 2, maybe even round 3. But as you said, he's got good cardio, so we'll see. Shelter, PFL Challenger Series wasn't wrong. It was just early. Man, I loved Challenger Series. It was so low level, but the lines were off, and it felt like it was the early days Contender Series where the edge was back. And I think there's a reason they got rid of it. I don't know why. Maybe the people weren't watching, but some good stuff. It lost a couple of Bet365 accounts because of Challenger Series. Pepe, 2 shots giving out all the answers on the DNY Contender Series because we're doing our best, mate. It's another tough card, honestly. I was G'd up for this season, and then the first few episodes kind of took it out of me. I'm like, what are these matchups? Who are these bums? Like, it's just like, it's disgusting. Subhuman. Dog with a stash. Let's go. Finally, someone calls it out. Why is this fight not the main event? I agree. I have a better question. Why is the main event the main event? That's because you could make all the other fights the main event, honestly. Maybe not this one. Alik Lorenz, Abdulrahman Yakhyaev. First time I taped Yakhyaev, the Hunter. Honestly, I was like, oh no, it's going to be another overrated Susakaev kind of guy. Like, everyone just loves these dudes. He's Turkish, right? And I only taped the third onwards, because he went to a decision against Kovalenko, 7-0. Don't really know how good Kovalenko is. I didn't go deep enough. And then these other two, finished Bagai with the guillotine and Jackie Jean. These guys are both strikers. I know them from Aries, right? So whatever, you're handling him accordingly. They have no ground game. So yeah, I mean the under 1.5 is massively steamed. I agree with that because it's Lorenz's path. This guy, his unders in LFA have been princes, but he's just a bit of a bum, right? We just mentioned he got knocked out by Abby, so no one else has really knocked him out. So I don't know if Abby's a good striker or not. We talked about it before, so I don't know, man. He went to a decision with this 6-6 guy. It was an awful look. He got a sloppy rear naked later on. That's not going to happen against this guy. I don't really know what to make of this fight.
Lorenz got dropped in another LFA fight too. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Fairchild. What was the one before Fairchild? Yeah, it might have been Fair. He got rocked against Fairchild too. So I think he has a suspect chin personally. Like I don't think his chin is great. So I kind of lean the under because I don't think his chin is great, and I just saw Parker take his back with relative ease, and I was very impressed with Yakhyaev personally. Like for a dude that's 24 years old, I mean, he's got a very well-rounded game. At 205, he's got good boxing, good wrestling. Seems like he'd have solid cardio. Kind of has like some poise about him too for being such a young kid. Like I'm very high on him. He reminds me of, he reminds me of like a mini Yakhyaev, not even a mini one, like a young Yakhyaev, like a southpaw wrestler with decent boxing. Like he kind of reminds me of like a young Yakhyaev. Like I think he has like super potential. So
nice, big shout out. Well, it's light heavyweight, so he probably has to do the bare minimum to get signed here. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I kind of think he's gonna take Lorenz down and get on his back pretty quick.
All right. Well, I don't know if the props are out. I'm just having a quick look. Probably not. No. Maybe submission. Maybe round one submission. Like we're obviously going to be forcing some stuff here because, unless you would just like the minus 100 at minus under 1.5 at minus 200 or worse. But
I mean that's probably not too bad. ACA.
Man, there's a lot of frauds on that. There's a lot of frauds on that promotion. Like
it's funny. It's like a lot of the frauds don't really get to contender though.
Yeah, exactly. But they've obviously a lot of the frauds. They try and make it to ACA, and then they get fraud checked a bunch on Young Eagles, and then nothing happens of their career. They go to like RCC and stuff.
And not NASA MMA. and the Octagon with a C.
Depends where they're from, I guess. There's a lot of bummy. What's that really bummy promotion? Like Fury or something? It's just like the worst.
It's Octagon. It's the Octagon with a C.
That's Azerbaijan. That's Kazakhstan. But there's like there's a really like a Russian one where they do that shit where they like punch on at the stare downs. There was a guy that they signed to LFA. He was 6-6, and he was from that promotion. And it was like Fury or.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's like ATF. There's a bunch of guys from one championship who fight there.
Yeah, and they're like just crap, and it's crazy. It's like really high level production, but when all the fights they're like Russians, but they're just like bums. I'm like, what is this? This is not what I expected from this promotion. All right, let's move on. By the way, this Kovalenko seems good. I just picked captain. The guy that Yakhyaev went to decision with. He won 2 fights after that. Some of them seem good. Alrighty. Barbosa, Damon Wilson. So I just played a unit on this Barbosa under 1.5, a little bit better than minus 200. And then I was like, you know what? Like I know Wilson well. I thought he was chinny. I might be wrong about that. But what we'll say is that guy has zero defense, man. Zero defense. And he hasn't really fought any hard hitters. Once he got knocked out by Harila. John De Jesus, you could say, is a hard hitter, but he's an absolute decision machine. Like he's like, you go to his record, he's got 7 decisions in a row. And 30 seconds in, Wilson's face was bloodied up. And then I watched one of his last ones, Ryan Lilly, face bloodied up. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even see anything hit Damon Wilson, but he's just right. So Marcio Barbosa, man, for like 5 or 6 fights already, I'm like, sign this guy to the UFC already. Like, what do you need him to be 20-2? Like, with the 16 round 1 KOs, just sign him. He almost killed Gabriel Santos. He might be a McKenny kind of fighter, right? But that alone gives him UFC level equity because he's gonna knock out. Like he would knock out Frivola in like 30 seconds as well, right? So that's it. He's UFC level. Bring him in. So he's finally in. I think maybe 3 or 4 of these guys that he knocked out back to back could be better than Damon Wilson. I don't really know what Damon Wilson is doing here. I've never watched Cage Warriors and said Damon Wilson should be on Dana White Contender Series. Like he's 32, he grapples, just all bums on his record, extremely hittable. So yeah, I was like, I got to add another half unit. So I just found ways around. I found some book where I could put another $300 on. So I have 900. I don't know if I could do 2 units. Whenever I lose big, it's on totals. So I just did 1.5 units, whatever. Hopefully it's a round 1 KO. I didn't even want to wait to be cheeky with it and play Barbosa round 1 KO. I just played the under. It's probably going to be shit by the time props open up. So I don't want to overthink this one. Barbosa should kill him. I think Barbosa is probably the most UFC ready level guy there, along with Sosa. What do you think?
No, I don't really have much to add. I'm waiting to get to the under. We'll see what price I get. If it's 225, 250, I'm probably gonna pass. I don't think that's very good, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, I think Barbosa rolls. Damon doesn't move his head at all, so I don't. It's hard for me to look past Barbosa not taking his head off. So
yeah, I was gonna stick with one unit and leave it, but it's like
it's so like I don't want to bet it, but it's so damn obvious, And Barbosa, like the Felipe talking about guys who would beat Damon. It's Felipe in his last fight. Felipe Oliveira would styled on Damon.
Yeah. He's quite durable too, and there's a couple of unders I missed out on with Barbosa because I'm like, oh no, he's fighting an undefeated Brazilian that's never been knocked out. I don't want to play this chalk, and then he just looks insane value again. Like he can knock out anyone. It's crazy.
Yeah, I played the under against Felipe at like even money. It was even under 1.5, and he was like,
yeah, I know because I've never been knocked out and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, he just hits. He hurt. What was crazy about that one is on the rewatch, he actually like hurt him with the front kick. So this guy must hit like insane. Like everything he throws must be insanely powerful because he hurt Felipe to the body with a front kick, and then all of a sudden all hell broke loose. But I'm very impressed with like Barbosa, as you said, and Damon's a fine regional fighter. He's a fine, solid regional guy. I'd be very surprised if he won this fight and got in the UFC, and if he does, congratulations to him. Barbosa does have some flaws with his cardio and stuff, so maybe if it drags out, there's potential for Wilson on the back end, but I can't really see past the defense. So, and how hard Barbosa hits, it's just kind of like a 1 + 1 = 2 type of equation for me.
Yeah, I mean we agree. As you said, it's an obvious fight. It doesn't happen. Some weird tomfoolery has happened, and then Damon Wilson can be favored in the UFC. I think fine is probably the nicest word you could say about him. So let's move on. Alrighty. Trent Miller, Ryan Gandra. Wow, what a main event. What a main event. I don't even know what to make of this main event. Ryan Gandra, he's not even that great, honestly. This is the first time I've taped him. Obviously, he's been fighting in LFA Brazil, which I tend to avoid these days. And I'm like, okay, this guy used to be a fat middleweight. Fat heavyweight, sorry. And he's been knocked out once. And Trent Miller, man, I looked into this guy's fights a few times in the regionals. And what to make. I think this is the Russian that I was talking about, 7-9. That fought on that crazy promotion. And whatever, he beat him. He can beat a bloody Dylan O'Sullivan via split. Buddy Wallace showed this guy the tour of the octagon. And what is that? I don't know, man. This guy is just like a Walmart Dalton Roster to me. Walmart Dalton Roster, like the same physique, same style, just awful cardio, a bit worse at everything, a bit worse at striking, a bit worse at grappling. And he's here on short notice. He's from Extreme Couture. I don't think he had a fight lined up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ryan should beat him, but I could see Ryan losing, honestly. He's just not that good to me. He's just whatever. Yeah. The over is taking action, which I get. This was the one that I was like, I could see an early finish, but I'm not going to rush it on this one because it's not that black and white. But now, honestly, I might circle back and look at the under because I do think that the Ryan Gandra could still run through him just because Trent Miller seems to have about 6 minutes of cardio at best if it's a low-paced fight. Other than that, crapshoot. I think Gandra can get a submission as well. What do you think?
This fight's hilarious. I just don't see a world where the under looks bad, to be honest with you. Like I don't really rate, either guy, but Miller will swing, and I don't really see him having much grappling success. So unless Gandra's getting on top of him, which would be bad for Miller, and like you said, he could probably maul him. They probably swing, and Miller does hit hard for the, small portion of time he is fresh. And Gandra hits really hard too. So I could see both of these guys putting each other's lights out. They seem relatively durable, but I've seen Buddy Wallace crack Trent Miller. So that's all I need to see. And Gandra's been knocked out before. I mean, granted at heavyweight, but Miller hits hard enough within the first 6 minutes that a meme could present itself. And he guillotined that random guy in LFA that I bet on, and he memed him, so that was good. Fun times.
Who got the guillotine?
Miller on the Osemele guy, something.
Yeah, that guy's awful, bro. I don't know. Doesn't Gandra have like some sort of jiu-jitsu background? I'm just assuming.
He does. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's like Paulo Costa's training partner, so might be decent.
Interesting. Adam MMAs, I think this is the first time you ever in here live, mate. He thinks he's the next Claudio Ribeiro.
Nah, he's got way better hardware than Ribeiro.
I don't think he has half the power of Claudio Ribeiro. That man has swings bungalows. Bring him back, I say.
Claudio has no get-up game, though.
True. Dr. Peanut, good afternoon, gentlemen. What lovely, exotically framed spectacles you both have.
Thank you. That's my penis doctor, actually.
Yeah, I might need a urologist. It's been a while since I've had my prostate checked. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll have to send me photos of his fingers. We'll have to decide.
He's got them. He'll send them to you.
He's got fingers? Well, that's good.
No, he's got my penis photos.
Oh, I wanted photos of his fingers.
Oh.
That's how I choose my urologist.
Oh.
I'm going to be careful out there.
So you don't want to see my penis, okay.
Don't know. We can talk about it off air. Anyway. Chronic Combat, Riz Masters, 2 absolute studs, indeed. What's the best 2-leg parlay for this thing? Oh, I knew it. As soon as Dogfather comes on, we get the parlay boys in the chat.
Oh, God. My loyal followers.
Fans, the loyal, the diehards. The anchor, people dying for an anchor. Honestly.
Yakhyaev and...
That's disgusting. I haven't even considered that.
Yakhyaev and the Barbosa under 1.5. Here you go.
You know what? Yeah, well, you can do that. Or you can do, if you want money lines, like not totals. I've been staring at it for weeks. I don't know for like a few days. I don't know if I'll do it. But I'll probably do Barbosa and Sosa. That gets you better than -200.
That's going to be a popular parlay.
You reckon? Well, I mean, it's probably why it stuck out to me too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be touching like the heavyweight because it's heavyweight. I won't be touching. I mean, you can't get anything from Yakhyaev in your parlays, and yeah, Gandra is just a disgusting fight. So there you go. Parlay those two. There you go. He's already ahead of you. Yakhyaev plus Barbosa by finish. Dog and Big Steve, couple boxing shops, putting my kids through college. That's it. Boxing's been an edge that I don't think anything in MMA will touch this year.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy you're getting into it too. I actually started out doing boxing, and then
yeah, you told me that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just started last year. I remember I started with Usyk and Thing won, and then Usyk won so easily. I'm like, wow, boxing is easy, dude. Why was his decision? Why was his decision $3.60? And then the rematch I passed, and it was even easier, but I live bet it. And then I'm like. But then it's been hard on money lines. I like Dubois over and AJ, but again I passed because I felt like a casual. I didn't want to force it, and then one easy. I'm like, wow, maybe. But it's ever since then, I'm taping these guys for the first time, and I don't really see edges on money lines. Like there's a lot of. I might have to get in on Canelo Bud because that's a casual friendly fight. I know guys well. So, but the real edge is just squash matches. Like, man, pick 'em for a 10-round squash. And it ends in the first 2 rounds. And it's like, I get why it's pick'em because there's no footage. So you have to use your intuition. And in MMA, I like to get a lot of footage and tape. But in boxing, it kind of makes me uncomfortable that I can't get it. But once you hit a couple, you're like, wow, this is easy. Like the intuition seems to be on point, and then you just keep doing it. But it took me a while to get over the bloody Rowley versus Garcia under. That's probably the last under that I lost. And I was like, man, that's dodgy. Why were there like sparring in there? But I think that's just bad fight.
I bet Barrios -275, and like whenever I got a draw, I would do it again.
That's the last money line. That's the last money line I bet, and it honestly felt like a max bet. Like, come on, he's almost 50 years old, dude. That looked like a clear fix to me.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I mean I bet Chamberlain this weekend in the main event for whatever UK card it was, and I thought he won like 7-5, 8-4, and it was a draw because he's the B side, the guy's in the hometown, so it's a draw. plus 220, it happens.
Thing is, at least
Boxing.
you always get your money back in boxing, right?
At least. That is true. That is true. You got to count that as a blessing, to be honest. MMA, you just lose a close fight on a great underdog. So
yeah, split decisions. Yeah, it's like I would take so many draws in some of those split decision losses. That'll be beautiful. All right, that's it. 30 minutes. Probably still went longer than I thought it would, but we try to fluff up some breakdowns. You got anything to add, my friend?
No.
No.
There's
Yeah, I mean,
there's like nothing going on this week.
Dude, that's crazy. I was like, thank God, no UFC. I can focus on PFL or whatever's on that week. And then I just go, I'm like, wait a minute, there's CFFC, but there's got to be something else, right? There's always something else. All right, let me check the boxing. It's like nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's all right. I guess I'll get ahead on Paris, right, for the once in my life.
Yeah, I got a little bit ahead, so.
Yeah, all good. Well, we'll get out of here. I've got things to do. Thank you for jumping in, my friend. Always fun.
Nice to see you. I think we broke it down succinctly, and there's I don't have too much to say about the card. I think there's a hot spot here or there, but I'm just gonna wait and see what happens by the end of tomorrow, and we'll see. Maybe I'll fire on something.
Yeah, wait for props, man, and then do some like round ones. Shows of decisions. Your subs, Yakhyaev sub. So just find something.
Yeah, it's just something to poke.
All right. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see the boys for the early teas, Paris.